The streets are whispering again, and this time, it's louder than ever. Kanan Stark is back, and from the first few seconds of the new Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 5 teaser, you can feel it, the tension, the betrayal, the hunger for power. Every frame looks like a war brewing, not just in South Jamaica, but inside Kanan himself. This isn't just another season. This is the moment Kanan becomes the man we all feared he'd turn into. The teaser doesn't just show us a return, it shows us an evolution, a breaking point, and maybe even the end of everything Raq fought to build. Season 5 feels like the calm before a storm that's been building for years. The teaser opens with an eerie quiet, a city that feels both alive and dead at the same time. We've watched Kanan grow from a confused teen trying to survive his mother's world into someone who's starting to build his own. That same boy who once looked up to Raq with fear and love now stands at a crossroads, questioning whether she was protecting him or controlling him. And that's where the beauty of Raising Kanan lies. It's not about drugs, money, or crime. It's about legacy, about the choices that shape who we become, and about the bloodlines that curse or crown us. The teaser gives us flashes of faces we know: Lulu, lost in guilt; Marvin, haunted by the ghosts of his past; and Raq, still standing tall but with eyes that finally seem tired. You can sense that everyone's running out of time. The streets don't forgive, and loyalty in this world always comes with a price. Raq built an empire from nothing, and for seasons, she's fought like a queen who refuses to bow. But this time, the crown feels heavy. The silence in her scene speaks louder than her words ever could. Maybe she knows what's coming, maybe she's already accepted it. What's truly striking is how the teaser plays with light and shadow. Every shot feels deliberate. Kanan walks through alleys that are half lit, half lost in darkness, a visual mirror of who he's becoming. He's torn between the world his mother created and the one he's destined to rule. His eyes no longer carry the innocence of a boy trying to understand the game. They hold something colder, sharper, the look of a man who's seen too much and trusts too little. This is where Raising Kanan separates itself from every other Power spin-off. It's not about the kingpin at his peak. It's about the making of one. The teaser reminds us that family in Power is both a blessing and a curse. Every time Raq says she's doing something for Kanan, we feel that line twisting deeper into tragedy. Because protecting him has always meant destroying someone else's peace. And now, the same son she tried to shield is becoming everything she wanted him to avoid. It's like fate laughing in her face. You can almost feel the guilt weighing on her in the way she moves, the way she looks away when his name is mentioned. There's a pain there, not just from what she's lost, but from knowing that she might be the reason her son will lose himself. The world of Raising Kanan has always been built on choices, not right or wrong, just survival. But in Season 5, survival doesn't seem enough anymore. Everyone's looking for purpose, for control, for one last chance to rewrite their story. The teaser hints at moments of reflection. Raq staring out a window, Marvin sitting alone, Lulu drowning his regrets in silence. But behind that stillness, there's chaos waiting to explode. You can sense it. The streets are changing, alliances are breaking, and old enemies are resurfacing. This season feels like the moment the game flips. Kanan is no longer the student, he's becoming the teacher. And while Raq may still believe she's in control, the truth is slipping away. The teaser captures this shift perfectly, her voice echoing over Kanan's silence like a ghost trying to warn him or haunt him. You can almost hear it. Everything I did was for you, but we know deep down. That's the lie every parent in Power tells before their world burns down. As the camera fades to black and the music builds, you realize something powerful. Raising Kanan isn't just about how he became who he is. It's about how everyone around him helped build that monster, piece by piece. Season 5 isn't promising redemption. It's promising truth. And in this world, truth always comes with blood. The streets never really rest. They just wait for the next name to rise, the next empire to fall. In Raising Kanan Season 5, that's exactly the energy the teaser gives off. This uneasy rhythm, like a heartbeat that won't slow down. You can feel the pressure pulsing through every scene. Kanan's world isn't quiet anymore. It's breathing, moving, testing him. The corners he used to walk freely now feel like traps. The faces that once smiled at him now carry questions he doesn't want to answer. That's the thing about the game. It never forgives forgetfulness, and it never sleeps long enough for you to catch your breath. The teaser makes it clear. Kanan is changing, and the streets are watching. You can see it in the way he carries himself. There's confidence there, but it's not youthful energy anymore. It's survival instinct. Every step feels measured, every word sharper. He's not the same boy who doubted his mother's world. He's slowly becoming the one who understands why she built it that way. There's a heavy silence in his scenes, like the world around him is testing his loyalty, forcing him to choose between the woman who raised him and the man he's becoming. This is no longer about right or wrong. It's about dominance, respect, and control. Every power story has its moment where innocence dies, and this teaser feels like Kanan's breaking point. One line from Raq echoes in the background, something about keeping what's yours. It's almost like advice and a warning at the same time. And as her voice fades, we see Kanan standing alone, surrounded by the empire his mother built but didn't protect. You can feel it. He's ready to take it, but not in the way she would have wanted. There's no more fear in his eyes, only ambition. The streets are whispering his name, not because they love him, but because they know he's about to do something no one's ready for. The teaser doesn't give us full answers, but the hints are powerful. Marvin seems distant, like a man haunted by his mistakes, trying to hold on to whatever scraps of peace he can find. Lulu's spiral continues. His guilt is written across his face, every look filled with regret. He's a man trapped between loyalty and self-destruction, and Season 5 might be his final test. And Raq, the woman who once stood untouchable, she looks vulnerable for the first time. You can tell she knows her empire is cracking. Her power, once loud and certain, now feels like a whisper fighting against the noise of chaos. The tension between Kanan and Raq feels like the real war this season. Every power story has been about betrayal, but this one cuts deeper. It's personal. The mother who made him strong is the same one he has to break away from. It's Shakespearean, tragic, but beautifully real. The streets shape them both, but they can't survive together in the same kingdom. It's a cycle, the teacher creating the student who will outgrow them, the protector building the weapon that will one day turn on them. And that's what makes this show so powerful. It's not about crime. It's about inheritance. There's a moment in the teaser where Kanan looks up, eyes burning but calm, like he's already accepted his path. You don't need words to know what he's thinking. It's in the silence, the decision to become who he was always meant to be. The streets are no longer Raq's. They're waiting for Kanan to claim them. But the question isn't if he will, it's what he'll lose in the process. Because in South Jamaica, power never comes without sacrifice. The music in the teaser tells its own story, deep bass, slow beat, like a countdown. Every note feels like time running out. You can almost see it, Raq's empire fading as Kanan's rises, one brick falling for every move he makes. It's not just about territory, it's about identity. Who is Kanan Stark without his mother's shadow? What kind of king does he become when he realizes love and control were the same thing all along? This season feels different, grittier, darker. It's not glorifying the streets, it's showing the cost of living by their rules. Every gunshot, every betrayal, every moment of silence feels earned. Because at this point, everyone knows there's no happy ending in this world. There's just survival, and Kanan, for better or worse, is built to survive. What's most haunting about this teaser is not what we see, but what we don't. No clear enemy. No big reveal. Just shadows, voices, and faces that say more in silence than any gunfight could. It's like the city itself has turned into a character, breathing, whispering, reminding everyone that the game doesn't end when you walk away. The streets remember everything, and that's what makes this season so thrilling. The promise that Kanan will finally stop running from his destiny. He's no longer his mother's son. He's his own man now, shaped by loss, betrayal, and hunger for control. The streets never sleep, and this time, they're wide awake, watching him rise. Every empire falls, but what hurts the most is when it collapses from the inside. Raising Kanan Season 5 doesn't just tease violence or revenge, it teases heartbreak, betrayal, and the ugly truth that sometimes blood isn't thicker than power. The teaser paints this perfectly. You can almost feel the weight of broken trust hanging over every frame. Raq built everything out of love, twisted, controlling love. But now that love has turned into poison, Kanan, her greatest creation, is no longer looking for guidance. He's watching her, learning from her mistakes, and deciding that maybe, to survive, he has to become everything she feared he would. The energy between them isn't mother and son anymore. It's predator and rival. Every word Raq speaks feels like a test. Every silence from Kanan feels like defiance. The look in his eyes says it all. He doesn't need her approval anymore. He needs control. The teaser flashes moments of them facing away from each other, both in the same room but worlds apart. That visual alone says everything about Season 5. They've reached the point of no return. Raq might still think she's protecting her son, but the streets don't raise saints, they raise survivors. And survival demands betrayal. There's a reason this season feels different. It's no longer about building the empire. It's about who gets to keep it when loyalty dies. Lulu, Marvin, and the rest of the crew can sense the cracks forming. Everyone's moving carefully, whispering quietly, making side deals in the shadows. The teaser shows hands shaking under dim light, promises being made, alliances being tested. Everyone's choosing sides, and in a world like this, picking wrong could mean your last breath. Raq's once unshakable power looks like it's slipping through her fingers. And every scene of her holding a phone, giving an order, feels more desperate than dominant Dad. And then there's Lulu. His guilt has been eating him alive since Season 4. And in the teaser, that pain finally looks like it's breaking him. You can see it, the blank stare, the clenched jaw, the way he drinks like the world's ending tomorrow. His story has always been one of conflict, a man trying to build music and murder under the same roof. But now, that double life is collapsing. The streets don't allow peace for men like him, and Raq's empire is dragging him back into chaos no matter how far he tries to run. The teaser hints that Lulu might finally pick a side, not out of loyalty, but out of survival. Marvin's journey feels like the soul of the story. After everything he's done, after every mistake, he's the one still trying to make sense of it all. The teaser gives us glimpses of him sitting alone, looking worn, like a man counting his days. There's a shot of him walking through smoke, maybe literal, maybe symbolic, and it feels like the writers are telling us something. Redemption doesn't exist in this world. Not really. There's only endurance, and Marvin has plenty of that. His quiet moments, his stillness, almost make him the only honest voice left in a world full of liars. But make no mistake, the heart of Season 5 is Kanan versus Raq. The son who once feared his mother is now her greatest threat. You can see the transformation in the way he looks at her, not as a parent, but as an opponent. It's the kind of pain that runs deep, because love still lingers there, mixed with anger, resentment, and pride. That's what makes Raising Kanan more than just another crime story. It's about family ties snapping under pressure. It's about what happens when love turns into strategy. Raq and Kanan aren't just fighting for power, they're fighting for their versions of truth. There's a line of dialogue in the teaser, faint, almost like a whisper. Sometimes you gotta cut blood to keep breathing. That single sentence might be the theme of the whole season. It's cold, brutal, but real. Kanan has learned that lesson the hard way. Every betrayal he's witnessed, every body he's seen fall, has taught him that love won't save you in the streets, strategy will. And now, the student has learned to well. The teaser shows one shot that fans can't stop talking about, Kanan standing in the rain, his face calm but hard, as sirens wail somewhere in the distance. It's a quiet moment, but powerful. That's not the same kid from Season 1 anymore. That's the man who'll eventually become the Kanan Stark we meet in Power. Cold, calculated, heartbroken, but focused. You can almost feel Ghost and Tommy's world forming in the shadow of this transformation. Season 5 isn't promising hope. It's promising honesty. Every choice has a cost, and this time, the price feels higher than ever. Raq's fear of losing Kanan might be what finally destroys her. Because in trying to shape him, she might have created the one person strong enough to end her reign. The teaser doesn't need to say it outright. The silence between them speaks louder than words. Bloodlines and betrayal. That's the heart of Raising Kanan now. Every alliance is fragile, every promise feels like a setup, and every look carries years of history. The streets may never sleep, but this season, they're awake and watching, waiting for that one final betrayal that will decide who truly owns South Jamaica. Kanan is no longer asking for a seat at the table, he's ready to flip it over. And once he does, there's no going back. Every story has a beginning, but only a few have a transformation that feels this inevitable. Season 5 of Raising Kanan isn't just another chapter, it's the moment everything snaps into focus. The man we've heard about in Power, ruthless, strategic, and unshakable, is finally stepping out of the shadows. The streets have been whispering his name for years, but now they're about to scream it. This is Kanan Stark's rise, and it's not a victory story. It's a coronation written in pain, betrayal, and blood. The teaser captures this perfectly. There's a shift, not just in tone, but in energy. Kanan's no longer reacting to the world around him. He's shaping it. The quiet boy who used to question everything now speaks with certainty, every line from his mouth heavy with confidence. You can almost feel that spark, the birth of a king in chaos. But what makes it powerful isn't the guns, or the deals, or even the violence. It's the control. Kanan isn't shouting, he's calm. That's what makes him dangerous. Real power doesn't have to make noise, it makes everyone else quiet. There's a moment in the teaser that defines it all. Kanan walks through a block that used to belong to Raq, the same spot she once ruled. The same corners where she taught him the rules, but this time, he's the one people move aside for. It's symbolic the crown has shifted, even if no one said it out loud. His body language says everything, steady, focused, untouchable. He's not fighting for his place anymore, he's already taken it. The streets that once scared him now bow to him. It's the final stage of transformation. The prey has become the predator. And yet, what makes this rise tragic is the cost. Every face that once smiled at Kanan is either gone, distant, or buried under layers of mistrust. That's the truth about power. It isolates you. The teaser shows moments of Kanan alone, walking through empty hallways, staring out of windows, lost in thought. There's no joy in his victory, just purpose. He's learned that the streets demand sacrifice, and he's willing to pay. That's the difference between him and everyone else. Where others hesitate, Kanan accepts the pain as part of the crown. Raq's shadow still lingers though. Even as she fades from control, her lessons echo through everything he does. You can almost hear her voice in the silence between scenes, that cold wisdom, that dangerous love. It's ironic. Everything she tried to protect him from is exactly what he's becoming. But maybe that's the point. Maybe this was always his destiny. Raq was the architect, but Kanan is the blueprint come to life. The empire she built to protect him has become the foundation for his rule. In the end, she didn't save him, she created him. The teaser's music swells at just the right moments, a mix of tension and triumph. Slow beats with heavy bass, like a march toward destiny. Each note feels like it's marking another step in Kanan's transformation. We catch glimpses of power meetings, tense confrontations, and unspoken deals being made. Every glance, every pause feels deliberate. Kanan isn't reacting anymore, he's orchestrating. His silence is strategy, his calm is control. You can tell he's learned the game so well that he no longer needs to play by anyone's rules but his own. One of the most chilling shots in the teaser shows Kanan standing where it all began. The same block where he made his first mistake, now his empire's center. The rain falls, his eyes are still, and there's this quiet satisfaction on his face. Not happiness, not peace, just understanding. He knows what it took to get here. He knows what it cost. And for a split second, you can see both the boy and the man in him, the dreamer and the killer, trapped in one body. That duality is what makes Kanan so fascinating. He's not evil for the sake of it. He's a product of every broken promise and every hard lesson the streets ever gave him. But power never comes without warning. The teaser hints at new enemies, new chaos brewing beneath the surface. The cops, the competition, the streets themselves, they all feel different now. It's like the universe is testing whether Kanan can handle the very empire he's built. That's the paradox of power. The moment you get it, you start to lose control of it. Season 5 seems ready to explore that deeply. Can Kanan lead without destroying himself in the process? Can he be feared without becoming completely heartless? The answer, maybe, is that he doesn't care anymore. He's too far gone. The boy who wanted his mother's approval is gone.